Stop scrolling. God is about to open the door you thought was locked forever. You've been praying, waiting, and fighting battles in silence. People counted you out, and even you doubted if change was possible. But God says, I make a way where there is no way. The impossible door, the one others shut in your face, is about to swing wide open. And when it does, everyone will know it was God's hand on your life. Don't give up now. What you thought was impossible is already on its way. Listen, the miracle coming your way is bigger than the fear you've been carrying. You thought it couldn't happen. The bills stacked, the doctor's report came back, the relationships broke. You said, it's impossible. But God says, what is impossible with man is possible with me. The very thing you thought could never change is the very place God is about to show his power. Get ready. Fear doesn't win. Your miracle is coming. God told me to tell you, the season of no is over. You've heard no after no, job rejections, closed doors, relationships that didn't work. But God is shifting you into a new season where his yes overrides every no you've heard. Is that impossible dream you buried? He's about to resurrect it. That impossible prayer? He's about to answer it. Don't give up. God's yes is about to change everything. Don't scroll. Your breakthrough will come suddenly. God specializes in suddenly. One moment you feel stuck, the next moment everything shifts. Joseph went from a prison cell to a palace in a single day. That's how fast God can move. The impossible you've been waiting on will not take years. It will happen suddenly, in God's perfect timing. Stay ready. Your suddenly is closer than you think. What you thought was impossible, God is already making possible. You said, I don't have the resources. God says, I am your provider. You said, it's too late. God says, I make all things new. You said, I don't have the strength. God says, my power is made perfect in your weakness. Every excuse you've carried is being replaced by God's promise. Get ready. He's rewriting your story. Right now, your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never walked into. God is about to position you in ways you thought were impossible. Opportunities are being prepared. Divine connections are being aligned. You thought no one noticed you, but heaven has already prepared your promotion. David wasn't in the room when Samuel anointed a king, but God still called his name. You may feel hidden, but you're chosen. Get ready. Your name is being lifted up by God's hand. That impossible thing in your life is about to become your testimony. You thought it would break you, but it's going to bless you. The sickness, the loss, the failure, it will not end in defeat. God will turn it into a story that gives him glory. Every time you share it, people will say, only God could have done that. Hold on, your testimony is being written. This impossible situation is not the end of your story. Lazarus was dead for 4 days. Everyone said it was over. But when Jesus spoke, the impossible reversed. The same God who raised Lazarus is about to raise your dead situation. What you thought was permanent defeat is about to become resurrection power. Don't bury your hope. God's power is greater than your impossible. Don't scroll. God is about to surprise you. You thought it was over. You thought nothing could change. But God's blessings don't always come the way you expect. He will show up when you least imagine in ways you never dreamed of. The blessing won't just meet your need, it will exceed it. Stay ready. God's surprise is coming. God is about to show his power through your life. The very thing you thought would crush you is the very thing God will use to reveal his glory. When people see your breakthrough, they'll know it wasn't luck, it was God. The impossible in your life is simply the stage for God's miracle. Don't lose hope. God's power will be seen in you. Don't scroll. Your waiting season is about to turn into a winning season. You've been waiting, praying, and asking God, when will it be my turn? The enemy whispered, it'll never happen. But God says, "Those who wait on me will renew their strength." The waiting wasn't wasted, it was preparing you. And now God is shifting you from waiting into winning. Your impossible is about to become your victory. The chain that's held you down is about to break. Addiction, fear, anxiety, generational cycles. They told you it was impossible to break free. But God's power breaks every chain. Just as Paul and Silas sang in prison and the doors flung open, your praise is about to unlock freedom you never thought was possible. Get ready. Freedom is yours. You thought it was too late, but God's timing is perfect. You cried, "Why hasn't it happened yet?" But God doesn't miss deadlines. His timing may feel delayed, but it's divine. What looked like a missed opportunity was just a setup for something bigger. He's about to prove that his perfect timing makes the impossible possible. Don't rush. God is right on time. Don't give up. God is about to reverse what looks impossible. The doctor said it's permanent. The bank said it's final. The world said it's over. But heaven says, "It is not finished until I say it's finished." God is a God of reversals. He turns curses into blessings, losses into victories, impossibilities into testimonies. Watch. The reversal is closer than you think. Your faith is about to unlock what feels impossible. Jesus said, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains." Your faith doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. That tiny faith you've been holding on to is about to unlock a miracle bigger than you imagined. Keep believing. The impossible is moving. Right now, blessings you can't see are about to be revealed. God has been working behind the scenes while you've been worrying. You thought nothing was happening, but heaven has been arranging every detail. Soon the blessings hidden in the dark will shine in the light, and everyone will see what only God could do. Your impossible blessing is already prepared. That storm in your life will not win. You thought the winds would take you out. You thought the waves would drown you, but remember, even the winds and waves obey Jesus. God doesn't just calm storms. Sometimes he lets you walk on the water in the middle of them. What you thought was impossible will become the very place you experience his power. Hold on, the storm won't win. The place where you felt limited is about to expand. You thought you'd always be stuck in the same cycle, the same small space, the same limited opportunity. But God says, enlarge the place of your tent. He's stretching you, preparing you for more, and turning your not enough into more than enough. The impossible limit is breaking. Don't forget, the last word belongs to God. People wrote you off. Reports declared it over. But no human opinion has the authority to cancel God's plan. The enemy may roar, but God has the final say. And his word declares that nothing is impossible for him. Stand firm. The final word is victory. You're about to be lifted higher than you imagined. God is taking you from the back to the front, from overlooked to chosen, from broken to blessed. The same God who lifted Joseph from prison to palace is about to lift you. What seemed impossible elevation is already in motion. Stay humble. God's promotion is coming. Stop scrolling. Doors you couldn't open are about to swing wide. You knocked, you prayed, and nothing moved. You even started believing maybe it wasn't meant for you. But God is saying, when I open a door, no one can shut it. The door you couldn't push open with your strength is about to be opened by God's power. Don't give up at the door. It's about to unlock. That wound you thought would never heal, God is about to touch it. Whether it's your heart, your body, or your mind, God's healing power reaches where medicine, therapy, and time couldn't. Jesus said, "Daughter, your faith has made you whole." That same power is flowing toward you now. Healing is on the way, even in what felt impossible. You don't have to chase favors. It's about to chase you. Opportunities, blessings, resources, things you thought you'd never qualify for are about to find you. Why? Because when God decides to favor you, no man can stop it. His favor will take you where hard work alone couldn't. Expect favor, even in impossible places. That dream you buried is about to breathe again. Ezekiel saw dry bones come alive when God's Spirit moved. And just like that, God is about to revive the dream, the vision, the hope you thought was long gone. What you thought was dead is only sleeping. Resurrection is on the way. Your impossible will live again. That little in your hand is about to multiply. Remember the 5 loaves and 2 fish? It wasn't enough for thousands, but in Jesus' hands it became more than enough. God is about to take your not enough, your time, your resources, your energy, and multiply it into overflow. The impossible will be multiplied. The season you're in is not the season you're staying in. You thought you'd always be in this valley, this struggle, this heartbreak, but seasons change. And God says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing." The season of delay, dryness, and defeat is ending. A season of breakthrough is beginning. Your impossible winter is turning into spring. What you thought was your weakness is where God will show His power. Paul said, "When I am weak, then I am strong." God doesn't need you to be perfect. He needs your surrender. The very place you felt powerless will become the testimony of God's impossible strength. Your weakness is the stage for God's miracle. God won't just restore what you lost. He'll give back more. You thought it was gone forever. The opportunity, the relationship, the joy. But God says, "I will restore the years the locust has eaten, not just the same, better, fuller, greater than before." Restoration will be your impossible testimony. The opportunity you've been waiting for is about to call your name. Like David in the fields, overlooked and forgotten, until God told Samuel, "Anoint him, he's the one." You may feel unseen, but heaven has already marked you. The call is coming. What seemed impossible recognition is on its way. That breakdown you're in, it's the setup for breakthrough. Sometimes God lets everything fall apart so He can rebuild it stronger. Your tears, your confusion, your struggles, they are the soil for your miracle. What felt like the end is just the beginning of a breakthrough. Don't quit in the breakdown. Breakthrough is near. You don't have to fight every battle. God is about to defend you. Lies, betrayal, unfair treatment. You thought you had to handle it yourself. But God says, "The battle is mine." He's about to clear your name, silence the critics, and prove Himself faithful. Your impossible battle belongs to Him. Tables are about to turn in your favor. What the enemy meant for evil, God is flipping for good. The same people who doubted you will watch you walk in blessing. Just like Joseph went from prisoner to ruler, your story is about to flip. The impossible is turning around. Get ready. Overflow is about to pour into your life. You prayed just for enough, but God says, "My cup overflows." He's not limited by your expectations. Blessings, opportunities, joy, more than you imagined are about to flood in. Your impossible overflow is closer than you think. That mountain in front of you is about to move. Jesus said, "Say to this mountain, be moved, and it will obey you." The mountain of debt, sickness, rejection, it's trembling at the sound of God's word. What looked unshakable is shifting right now. Your mountain will move. You can't see it yet, but God is making a way. The Red Sea looked impossible, but God split it. And just like that, He's carving out a path where there seems to be none. You may not see the road, but trust, He's already paving it. Your impossible path is opening. That joy you lost is about to return. You cried yourself to sleep, thinking you'd never laugh again. But God says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." The impossible heaviness is lifting and joy is breaking through. Your morning is here. Expect God to surprise you in ways you didn't imagine. The miracle might not come as you pictured. The answer might not look how you expected. But it will come. God loves to show up in unexpected, impossible ways just to remind you He's in control. Be ready. The surprise is divine. You are not forgotten. Your name is written on His hands. You felt invisible, overlooked, left behind. But Isaiah says, "I have engraved you on the palms of my hands." God hasn't ignored your prayers. He's preparing your answer. The impossible delay is not denial. That darkness around you cannot stop God's light. Depression, fear, loneliness, they tried to consume you. But light always wins against darkness. And today God's light is breaking into the very place you thought was hopeless. Darkness is breaking. Your impossible night is over. The battle may look impossible, but victory is already written. On the cross, Jesus declared, "It is finished." That means your defeat was already turned into victory. You may still be in the fight, but heaven has already declared the outcome. You win. Victory is your portion, even in the impossible. The wound no one sees is the one God is healing right now. You've been smiling on the outside but broken on the inside. You thought healing was impossible, but God binds up the brokenhearted and restores what was shattered. He is reaching into the places you never thought could heal. What you thought would always hurt is about to turn into a testimony. Healing is here. The impossible pain is being restored. Don't think your prayers have been ignored. God has heard every word. You cried at night, whispered in silence, prayed when no one listened. Heaven heard every single one. You thought God was silent, but silence doesn't mean absence. He's been preparing the answer behind the scenes. The impossible request is about to be answered. Your prayer is not forgotten. It's being fulfilled. The limits on your life are about to be broken. You thought you'd always be stuck there, limited by money, background, status, fear. But God doesn't operate within human limits. He's about to push you beyond boundaries, take you where you never thought you'd reach, and show you His unlimited power. What feels impossible is now your new normal. God's answer to your prayer is going to surprise you. You expected one thing, but God is about to exceed it. He doesn't just give enough. He gives pressed down, shaken together, running over. When He answers, it won't just solve the problem, it will bless you beyond what you dreamed possible. Get ready. The impossible answer is on its way. What the enemy meant for evil, God is flipping for your good. The enemy thought he had you cornered. But every attack only positioned you for greater victory. Just like Joseph thrown into a pit, betrayed and forgotten, yet God used it all to elevate him. The very plan against you will become the reason you rise. The impossible battle is turning into an unstoppable breakthrough. What you call no way, God calls, watch me. You said there's no way this can work out. But God specializes in no-way situations. He split the sea for Moses, made water flow from a rock, and brought Lazarus back from death. Your no-way moment is about to be His watch me miracle. Trust Him. The impossible is His specialty. The tables are turning in your favor. You've been overlooked, underestimated. But God is flipping the table. Those who doubted you will witness God's hand on your life. What felt impossible, justice is coming quickly. The turnaround is here. That door you couldn't open, God is about to open it. You tried everything and still hit closed doors. But remember, when God opens a door, no one can shut it. The right door, the one that leads to your destiny, is about to swing wide. What seemed impossible access is about to be granted. Get ready. The impossible door is opening. Your pain is about to become proof of God's power. The nights you cried, the losses you faced, the betrayals you endured, none were wasted. God will use your scars as testimonies that point others to His glory. What felt like impossible pain is about to show an impossible purpose. Your story isn't over, and it's turning into proof. You've been hidden, but now you're about to shine. God has kept you in preparation. Hidden, quiet, unseen. But soon, He will bring you into the light. What felt like impossible obscurity will turn into an undeniable favor. Get ready. God is putting you on display. Your season of overflow is about to begin. You lived in lack, in barely enough. But the God of abundance is about to pour until your cup overflows. What seemed impossible provision is already in motion. Everything you lost, God is restoring in ways you never expected. The enemy stole years, opportunities, and joy. But God is a restorer. He promises to give beauty for ashes, double for your trouble. What seemed impossible restoration is about to show up in your life. Watch. Restoration is coming. That impossible debt is already paid in God's eyes, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual. The debt that weighed you down has been canceled. Jesus paid it all, and God is about to show you freedom from the burdens you thought you'd never escape. You are free. The impossible weight is gone. The blessing that's coming will outweigh the battle you faced. You thought the fight was endless, but every tear, every sleepless night, every struggle was building the ground for a blessing greater than you imagined. The impossible season is about to be eclipsed by a blessing beyond measure. Hold on. The reward is bigger than the pain. Get ready. God is about to shock you with His goodness. You expected just enough to survive, but God is about to surprise you with blessings that make you say, "Only God could have done this." What seemed impossible is about overflowing in your life. The goodness of God is chasing you down. Your waiting room season is about to be over. You've been patient, you've endured, you've questioned how much longer. But the waiting was preparing you. Now God is opening the door and calling your name. What seemed like an endless wait is turning into a suddenly. Your waiting is over. The impossible is here. The chapter you thought was over is not the end. God is writing a new one. You thought the story was finished, but God is the author and finisher. He's turning the page into something better. What looked like impossible endings are becoming new beginnings. The pen is in His hands. Trust the next chapter. Your breakthrough will come suddenly. Don't lose hope. For years it felt like nothing had moved, but God moves in suddenlies. One phone call, one opportunity, one divine moment, and everything changes. What seemed like an impossible delay will shift into an immediate breakthrough. Stay ready. Your suddenly is near. God is about to show up in undeniable power. The situation looked dead, hopeless, too far gone. But when God shows up, even death has to bow. Lazarus walked out of the tomb. Your situation will walk into life. Power is coming where you least expect it. Right now, the impossible is becoming possible in your life. You've been in a season where doubt screamed louder than faith. But hear this. With God, nothing will be impossible. The closed doors, the broken pieces, the hopeless nights, they're all shifting into a testimony of God's greatness. The impossible is already in motion. Believe it, receive it, walk in it. If you string these 60 viral scripts together, the core message is this. What looks impossible in your eyes is possible in God's hands. Your pain, your waiting, your tears, and your battles are not wasted. They are the stage for God to display His glory. He is still the miracle worker, the way maker, the God who turns no way into a testimony. If He did it before, He will do it again. And this time, it will be even greater.